So I did a whole video basically saying prove it when it came to the Kavenaugh thing again. Another sexual assault recollection charge. He should be impeached. All the fucking front runners for the Democratic election. Impeach, impeach, impeach. AOC coming out and saying, oh my God, it's been a year and here's another one. You just need to get rid of him already. And the original recording was, prove it, you crazy bitches. Prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it. Well, at the time of that recording, it wasn't clear whether or not it was true. So I was like, okay, you need to prove it first. Innocent until proven guilty. You're making another allegation, another charge. You're just dragging his name through the mud again. Guilt by association, of course. And since, he's related to Trump in some way, he therefore, orange man bad, therefore this man must be bad. Well, it wasn't true to begin with. The person that is supposedly the target of this sexual harassment and other such crazy shit does not recall, nor does she want to say anything about said incident because it never happened. The lady in question, the one that supposedly had this done to her, says it never happened. So, it is the speculation of two people writing a book that decided to publish this in the New York Times to perpetuate their book deal, essentially. To try to get that New York Times bestseller. Because they have a book coming out that's all the dirty secrets of Kavenaugh that were nothing. We also found out recently that Blasey Ford put these allegations together because she decided that he doesn't deserve to be Supreme Court Justice because Trump appointed him and Orange Man bad. Therefore, he doesn't deserve to be in the Supreme Court. That was their decision. Wonderful. That's just amazing. I'm glad that people decided to take it in their own hands and develop a witch trial. And this whole thing reminds me of the Monty Python skit from The Holy Grail. How do you know Kavanaugh's a witch? How do we know that he is a sexual assaulter? Well, does he weigh the same amount as a duck? I think we need to put him on a scale and determine if he weighs the same amount as a duck, he is therefore a sexual assaulter. And if he is a sexual assaulter, let's burn his ass at the stake. Why? Because that is fair and equal justice in the eyes of social justice. It makes about as much sense, in my opinion. The allegations themselves are weighed enough, and they're credible enough according to AOC. Credible. Absolutely credible, except for the fact the victim in this case said it never happened. Therefore, it is absolutely credible that he assaulted somebody, and we need to burn him at the stake. We totally just need to torch him. Let's do it old school style. Let's put him right in the front of Washington Monument, since we're downtown DC anyways, and put the big pyre up. Let's strap him to it and set him on fire. How's that sound, AOC? How's that sound, Beto O'Rourke? I think that's a great idea, because essentially what you dumbasses are doing is believing a headline, not looking into it, and jumping the gun. People like this do not deserve power. If all you do is do reactionary, emotional responses to literally everything that happens, you don't need power at all. Because what we can expect from you is paranoia, gut responses, and abuse of power. The one that intrigued me the most is Beto O'Rourke, because not only did he jump the gun and decide, this guy just needs to be impeached because there's just too many allegations. Well, Beto O'Rourke, you fled the scene of a crime after a drunken car accident and were charged with a felony, I believe, that was reduced to a misdemeanor because you kissed some ass and happened to be for money. Well, there's too many allegations for you, Beto O'Rourke. I don't think that you should be president. I don't think you should even be trying to be president with your criminal record. Because who can trust you from that point forward to say that if the going gets tough, that you won't run and hide.
That guy? So what?
I just can't believe that this whole thing has gotten to this point. I don't understand. Well, no, that's not true. I do understand where this is coming from. It's coming from an ideological position where they have a devil. Because it's clear that AOC, that Beto O'Rourke and others that have exclaimed this, even the ones that are quasi-grifters like Elizabeth Warren, know how to play this game because they've seen it before. They're playing an ideological game. They're playing a religious game where Orange Man Bad, kind of. He is a straight white male. He is the devil. Whiteness is evil. White privilege is a thing. Kavenaugh is also a straight white male. He therefore must necessarily be of sin, of the devil, however you want to put it. These people have decided that this is the case, and anything these people do is wrong. And all we have to do is start digging to find out if it's true or not. In the case of Kavenaugh, none of it's true. It was false allegations to begin with. Every single story that was put forth against him was proven false. Therefore, there is no there is no evidence to prove his case, that he is guilty. You cannot prove he is guilty, therefore he must be innocent. That is the conclusion one must take in this case. And I hope it ends there, but we know it won't. Because what'll happen is if one of these crazy people gets public office, what they're going to try and do is find something else to remove that person from office because, oh my God, Trump appointed him. Therefore, he has to be the worst person on the planet. They will try to undo everything Trump has done. That's what's going to happen. That's fine. Some of it's kind of stupid. Like his travel ban? What was the point of that? Seriously? We had one guy that was already living here go fucking crazy and shoot up a nightclub. I won't forget that one, the Pulse nightclub shooter, because I was down the street when it happened. I was literally less than a mile away. And that kind of freaked me out because we were there for Disney World, which is just right around the corner from this place. And this guy just goes in there and starts shooting people. Premeditated. Hated gay people. There was some speculation that he might be gay himself, but no, he was casing the joint. And they're filled with sin, and we have Muslim preachers down here teaching that, basically radicalizing people. I don't think they've been shut down. They should. Unfortunately, that would violate their First Amendment rights. You're allowed to preach hate around here. We have a very finicky and troublesome situation when it comes to things like that. But I digress. I don't think... I was kind of right in the first video that I didn't even publish because shit changed. There was no evidence to begin with. It was all made up bullshit. It was all wrong. So they made it up. They got angry. They reacted. Any people that react like that do not deserve power. They don't need to be sitting in a seat of power. Because what that means to me is that they are gut reactionaries. They have no common sense. They will never use their deductive reasoning. They will never use their goddamn brains to figure out the truth before they go out and open their mouths. Even Trump didn't say a goddamn thing until he saw the lies. And then said, look how these sons of bitches lie again. They should sue for defamation. Well, I would agree that he should impose, the defamation laws should be changed. If you're a public figure, you should not be held in a higher account and shielded from defamation just because you're a special person of high import. No. If you talk some shit, you should also be sued. Period. It don't matter if you're high profile or not. That kind of special circumstance makes circumvention of the law. What's the point of a defamation lawsuit if you can't sue the person talking shit about you because they're high profile? Well, then you elevate me to high profile because you pinned me at the target. Just as an example. What the hell? That's stupid. I should be able to sue your punk ass, and news should be also liable for the same things. If you publish a false report, you should be sued the fuck out, and you can't hide behind the shield of the freedom of the press. Well, I'm allowed to say false information. Really? If you say false information that's damaging to the credibility or the position of a person, that undermines their authority or their ability to work, or maybe even impose bias, in Kavanaugh's case, you should be sued the fuck into oblivion. You should be forced to pay. Or, dare I say, well, it doesn't matter, because once you post it, it goes out, like everyone always says, the lie spreads around the world, halfway around the world before the truth straps on its boots. That's true. The first message out is always the one that's heard the loudest. In this case, everybody believed that he just assaulted somebody else. No one bothered to see the editor's note that they put at the footnote. They didn't bother taking down the goddamn article either, which they should have, because it wasn't true. That article should be nuked. It should not exist. It created a falsehood, a false narrative. It lied. Anyways, that's all I got to say for this one. I had to issue a correction of my own. I didn't even publish my other video because it's like, this is not true. There's no way it could be. They made shit up again. Lo and behold, they made shit up, and it was proven. And they had to correct themselves. Again. As if anybody trusts the mainstream media at this point. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.
Master, your technique is invincible, and you're bound to get the leadership. Well now, who's next?